I feel managers is only game week 2 and it's already peak FPL drama. Where do we want to start from? Do we start with the captaincy blanks, or do we talk about the injuries to certain premium players, even decent footballers getting injured just before the kickoff, guys? That's obviously going to affect a lot of our teams. And of course, the captaincy blanks, and of course, the most transferred in player curse took place again. And this time it was really real and strong. Talking about Rangers blanking, guys, I advised against people making that panic transfer, bringing in Rangers. He's not the closest midfielder to the opponent's goalkeeper, neither is he on any form of set pieces. Yes, I know the price was good and tempting to have him in our teams, but obviously it wasn't the best choice and the best pick. And a lot of people forced in Erling Haaland in their team, taking a -4. I'm sure a lot of you have learned your lesson. Only game week 2. Obviously for me, this game week was bittersweet in a way, because I had a captaincy blank. My captain Oliwonki he blanked, but I ended up still on a green arrow, and of course rank is up 3.2 million at the moment. I feel that's very decent, looking at the kind of season we're having at the moment. So guys, team review, in goal I had Dubravka's clean sheet, and of course I was lucky to get Esteve's clean sheet as well, which wasn't to be. Initially I had benched Esteve in my team, and I played only Diouf, Ruben Diaz, as well as Pedro Porro. And when the game week started, it turns out that I was having 2 players injured, and that was Cole Palmer and Jorginho Rutter. So guys, I ended up having to use 2 auto subs for the game week, which is why I can't speak enough about having a decent bench. Before the season started, I was rating teams on my TikTok. In case you're not following on TikTok, I go live on TikTok stream. You can click the link in my on my bio and subscribe there, be a follower, just keep in touch, you know. So guys, this season I want to try finishing the top 50k again. If you are having a decent season, maybe another top 10k finish, fingers crossed for that. So moving on, I had the kind of game week that I think I was lucky to have a good bench. Not a lot of you managers can say the same, but this is why I kept hitting the nail on the head. Like, try have a decent bench. You don't need to force a Frimpong, a Vadio, Nori, Veggie Van Dijk into your teams. I would rather spread the fund around and make sure I have a good bench, which is what has played out to be a positive one for me. So aside the captaincy blank, I had a green arrow. I think my team did pretty decent. So Dewsbury Hall coming in from the bench to replace Cole Palmer, and as well as Esteve coming from the bench to replace Jorginho Rutter. So guys, decent clean sheet from Esteve. So the double Burnley, which I was gonna initially make in my team, happened to work out just perfectly. I ended up not doing the double Burnley because I was worried not to have 2 players from the same team conceding a goal and not giving me any points. So, but the injuries to the midfielders Kopama and Jorginho Rutter seem to have assisted my team, and yeah, those points are decent for a very low scoring game week, unless you had a triple captain on João Pedro, Jurian Timber, the Arsenal defender that really hauled over 20 points, and maybe you captain some of these Arsenal defenders like Gabriel. I don't know, I've seen a manager that actually captain Gabriel. So guys, for the rest of the video, just stay tuned. I will be talking about my team ahead of game week 3, replacement for Cole Palmer. Probably I would be replacing Jared Bowen as well. He's blanked twice now in 2 game weeks, which is really not encouraging for any manager that wants to gain rank. I think I wouldn't be giving too much room for that, especially his fixtures are not the most encouraging. For Ollie Watkins, he's got an excuse, you know, for me, because his games are only just gonna start looking much better. And of course, for a team like Villa to not start the season decently, they would be looking to change all of order. But for West Ham, I see them as a very disorganized team. They not really have an identity yet. I mean, even in the EFL Cup, they lost 3-2 to Wolverhampton. It only took Strand Larsen about 2 minutes to get 2 goals in the back of West Ham net and obviously win that game for Wolverhampton. And that's an interesting one, talking about Strand Larsen. He comes into contention for one of the strikers to want to replace in our teams, in case you're looking to build a midfielder, a premium midfielder, have them in your team. So guys, we'll talk about all this in the next chapter of the video. Stay tuned. And obviously I'm gonna show you a lot the fixture difficulty rating. So guys, the fixture difficulty rating from now on, it's pretty decent for certain teams and not too good for others. So for Arsenal, it's showing blood red. Is fixture against Liverpool, Nottingham Forest next, Man City, and of course Newcastle. Not the easiest of fixtures, but I do expect Arsenal to sail through that. And I fancy a player like Eberechi Eze in my team. Guys, with Kopama out, I was of the opinion that I was gonna go for an Eze, but then I'm gonna have a look around other teams in the league and probably get my other premium midfielder from there, or cheap budget midfielder from there, if I'm gonna go for a premium striker like Haaland. But I doubt I'll be doing that, guys. I would be mentioning motor player I would probably be going for, and I think it might be a Man United player because I'm targeting the Man United Burnley fixture. I think I would go between Bruno Fernandes and Cunha. I do fancy their fixture against Burnley. I think United playing at home, they'll want to make a statement. Burnley are a good side defensively, but of course, facing the firepower of Mbumo, Cunha, Sesko, Bruno Fernandes might not be an easy task for them. And guys, if you want to invest on Chelsea, they are still a decent team to look at. Just there's a lot of rotation with the likes of João Pedro, Delap. Palmer is out right now, but obviously around him there's also rotation with the likes of Neto and Esteval. I do fancy Esteval. If he was getting more game time, I will have him in my team. And of course, if I'm looking for that fifth cheap midfield option, I might go for Esteval. But depending how the season plays on, so at some point in the season, I might be going for a player like that. So guys, the best teams with the best fixtures, in my opinion, I'll say will be Newcastle. They've got Leeds, Wolverhampton, Bournemouth, Arsenal, and of course they've proven already at the start of this season that they've got a good defense. So guys, I would go with Newcastle, and then followed by Aston Villa. Yes, they've not really impressed with the start of the season, but guys, they've got a really nice fixture coming up against Crystal Palace, Everton, Sunderland, Fulham United, Fulham, and of course Burnley. I was gonna say Fulham United, and of course Burnley. Guys, these are really interesting fixtures. I think Villa are gonna want to change the narrative and turn their season around. So guys, do not look away from Villa. Of course, Crystal Palace is a bit here and there for them. The fixtures stick out, but guys, they are very capable, and it's quite easy to pick on their premium players. Mateta, Ismail Assar, I know brainer if you want to pick on a Crystal Palace attacker. But guys, I would say be careful, because we are not just sure how effective as an attack they're gonna be now without a Eberechi Eze. So that's my little 2 cents on the fixture difficulty rating. And of course, guys, I was gonna skip this, but do not sleep on Liverpool, and even to an extent Manchester City. Their fixtures are going to be really good now from now going forward. Liverpool for the next 6 games are really decent. Yeah, some difficult teams like Arsenal, Chelsea, and Man United in that list, but we all know Liverpool are capable. So if you're looking for an attack or midfield player, an attacker or midfield player, Liverpool team is one to look at, guys. Alright, field managers, thanks for keeping it locked to this point in the video, guys. If you're still watching, be kind to give us a like, and if you're new around here, you want to subscribe to the video. So guys, this is my team selection ahead of game week 3, and for now there's 2 transfers in the bank, and I'll be looking to maximize my transfers this game week. Probably chase the upside if I want to be greedy. I do fancy certain teams for their fixtures and certain players. So guys, the major talking points for my team this game week, because I feel Cole Palmer might just be getting a rest against Fulham, so he would be back after the international break. So that gives me a bit of confidence to go against Cole Palmer in my team right now, guys. If you're looking at the starting 11, you will see Cole Palmer is not in the lineup because I've got him sitting on the bench due to the news about him having a groin injury. I feel it's quite dicey to try to force him in my team or keep carrying him in the team. And of course, there is the headache, of course, for Ruta, who is suffering a knock at the moment, guys. I do not even know what to do because his injury is kind of a headache as well for me, because I do not want to be resting on 3 midfielders every game week, maybe for the next 2 game weeks. So there's not much news also coming out of the Brighton camp, so I'm not sure what the situation with Ruta is. But obviously it says knock, and when you get a player having a knock, I feel it's not too serious. He has a chance to be back, and of course it's the game against Manchester City, so I think he would be on my bench anyway. Even though I do not necessarily play like that, I feel even if he's playing Man City, he's got a chance to score. He plays close to the goalkeeper and stuff like that. So guys, my decision might be in with the injury to Jorginho, I would have Estef coming to the team. But all this is before making my transfer, so obviously I've got Jorginho and Palmer on the bench right now. Dubravka playing Man United, I don't really fancy him to start, so he starts from the bench. Sales is back in the team, and of course in the defense, I do fancy Ruben Diaz against Brighton. Crystal Palace play against Villa, I fancy Konza to hold his place back in the team. Pedro Porro, obviously on set piece, has the most attacking returns lately amongst defenders, not obviously during Timber, but he's very decent, the most attacking defender in the league if you want to consider him and Munoz for that position. And then Esteve, I feel this could be a hit or miss, but guys, for now he stays in the starting 11. But my transfer plans is pretty easy. I'm looking to downgrade Cole Palmer. Probably if I want a Erling Haaland, I go for a 5 million midfielder. And of course, easily this midfielder could be a Liverpool midfielder. Guys, I do fancy the Liverpool fixtures, so I could make it a Gakpo for him. And there's still about 2.9 million in the bank. And obviously, guys, like I mentioned, 2 blanks from Jared Bowen is not encouraging enough for me, so I might want to replace Jared Bowen this game week. And guys, no better option than Ekitike. But I'll say be careful if you want to make a transfer like that. Wait until at least Friday when we are sure about the transfer situation of Alexander Isak, because obviously no matter what time Isak joins the Liverpool team, that will determine Ekitike's playing time, where he plays on the pitch as well. So guys, keep an eye for that transfer news. But guys, I do fancy Ekitike in my team. If I'm going for a more cheaper midfielder, that will mean I'm trying to bring in Erling Haaland in my team. But guys, with these fixtures, Brighton, Man United, Arsenal, Burnley, I really do not fancy forcing Erling Haaland in my team. And of course, with a solid blank against Tottenham, this just tells you about how the season could go. The rest of the season could go for Erling Haaland. So guys, be very careful not to stay on that path. Be more open to the wider options that we have this season. And I'll be keeping faith with Ollie Watkins. I know I haven't said much about him, but I'll be keeping faith with Watkins. The plan is to replace Jared Bowen, and I fancy Chris Wood as well. So with the amount of money I've got left in the bank, Chris Wood is a good option. His fixture turned for the best as well. So guys, he could easily become my next striker. And of course, he plays West Ham United next, so I feel this could be a way I could go. So double Liverpool. Of course, guys, the reason for going Gakpo is not the game against Arsenal, is the rest of the fixtures that Liverpool have got. Burnley, Everton, Crystal Palace, and Chelsea. Not too high for goal scoring, but yeah, these are decent fixtures that you could target Liverpool players. And then, guys, the other way could easily be go for Ekitike, and Gakpo becomes Bruno Fernandes or Cunha. I personally like Cunha because, guys, I feel if anyone's gonna get a goal right now for Man United, it's obviously gonna be Cunha. He is closer to the opponent's goalkeeper as well. You can see the hunger in the football he plays. So guys, this could be the team I come up with for the next game week. Let me know what you think about these transfer plans. So guys, how much is that? 1.5 million left in the bank, guys. So it gives me an option to go up on Jorginho if I want to go up, but that will mean for -4. I'm not looking to take any hit for any player at this point in the season. So guys, easily I could increase I could make another change either on Jorginho to become probably I like Undoy. This is a personal likeness. I'm not saying he's an FPL pick, but I think this young man is gonna get in on a lot of points. Already he's on 9 and 7 points. It could just be the under. How do I explain this? He could just be the underbelly. I don't know how to say the under rock, or that stone in the corner. How do they say the words? But anyway, he would be that chief cornerstone for Nottingham Forest as the season grows. He's such a talented player. Like I said for Diouf, he passes the eye test. So these are footballers that pass the eye test. So I could easily do a Dan and Doy. Even a Semenyo is decent. And of course, what goes well for Ndoye is that the fixtures goes really well for them. So I could do a Ndoye for Jorginho or for a -4. And guys, I think this is going to be a very, very crazy team ahead of the game week. I think it's a very good team ahead of the game week. Ekitike against Arsenal, as well as Salah combination and Ndoye in the team. Guys, I do like it, but just to, be more accommodating and not be invested on one team, I will restore Jorginho. I feel Jorginho could be back this game week. There's not much news coming from Brighton corners, and probably I do Dewsbury Hall to become Ndoye, or because Dewsbury Hall literally sort of assures you more of a 90-minute points, not really points returns. So guys, this could easily happen in my team now. This could easily happen. So for -4, I could go Ndoye, Konya. Guys, I really do fancy this draft team. Ndoye, Konya in my team, or just for the sake of, penalties and, stuff like that, we could go Bruno Fernandes. So guys, I want you to actually take notes of these names I'm calling, because these are the players that I feel would really do well for the game week. So if you're looking for certain players to replace people in your team, these are the names I want you all to pay attention to. So Bruno Fernandes and Ndoye introduced into the team, as well as Ekitike. Guys, I really do feel this would be a very high scoring team if you want to take them into consideration. So that's my team plan ahead of game week 3. Guys, let me know what you think about this team. Hit the comment section. Tell me what you think about this team, guys. We're trying to gain more rank this game. We probably hit top 1 million already, as the season is growing quite slowly and not the best way to start FPL. It's already peak FPL drama for a lot of us managers. Everyone is feeling it, and it's interesting. It's why we are here. Anyway, guys, stay tuned and see you in my other videos. Don't miss out.